What the fuck did I just read?
What did I just read? Okay, guys, welcome to my channel. Hello. Before anyone says anything, spoilers ahead, okay? I warned you, if you haven't finished the book, haven't read the book, haven't picked up the book, you're almost done with the book, spoilers ahead, okay? So click off the video, click save for later, and then you can come back, okay? Because we are going to talk about what this book is. Okay, to start off, I would like to say that my rating of this book is a 6 out of 5 stars, okay? I am not a hard person to please, okay? I'm not one of those people that, like, doesn't hand out 5 stars, you know, frivolously. Like, some people are like, it takes me a lot to give out 5 stars, you know, like.
Every book I review is like a 2 or a 3.
I'm not one of those people, okay? I devour anything Rebecca writes. I devour anything SJM writes, okay? I'm an easy person to please, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. Just because my review is 6 out of 5 stars, by the way, doesn't mean yours will be. And that's okay, guys. We can all have difference of opinions, okay? With that being said, I think out of all 3 of the books for this series so far, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm has by far been the best. It has the pacing that the first book had. It had the yearning that the second book had. And I like that it was shorter than Iron Flame, but longer than Fourth Wing. I think that this, what is this, like 800 something page?
500?
Is like the perfect amount. Iron Flame to me, don't get me wrong, like I still gave Iron Flame 5 stars, but Iron Flame to me felt a little
Drawn out.
It felt a little slow at some parts, which, like, again, I still loved it. I still ate that shit up. But this one, I felt like moved at a way faster pace. And I know, like, with Fourth Wing, the pace in Fourth Wing was super fast too, because they just, like, she just threw us in right away. Conscription Day, Parapet, right off the rip, first chapter. And I kind of like how Onyx Storm sort of followed that guideline. Like every chapter, I feel like something was happening, something was going on. There was always a reason that I wanted to keep reading. There was always like a cliffhanger on every chapter where I'm like, oh my God, now I have to read the next one. I have to read the next one. And it was just really, really, really hard to put down. I told myself, I was like, I'm going to take my time with this because I know we all know Rebecca. She said,
Rebecca!
Said she was taking a break after this book.
Okay, I need to be a little bit more gentle. This is my baby. I woke up at 6 a.m. to get this baby.
Rebecca said that she's taking a break after Onyx Storm for writing.
Which, like,
I don't know where she got the audacity to do that. I mean, I love her and I hope she's okay and I hope she takes her time.
but not too much time.
My heart cannot handle it, okay? It simply cannot handle it. I feel this book, ripped out my soul. Put it back in, ripped it out again, shredded it into little pieces, and then confetti back into my body. That's how I feel about this book. I love how they took the trope with like the jealousy thing between Kat, Xaden, and Violet from Iron Flame and brought it to this book.
But flipped it
onto Xaden. Okay, like that, I will eat up a jealousy trope any day of the week. Any day of the week, I will eat that up, okay? That is I love it. I love a possessive man. I love a man that would just anyone for his woman, okay? Love it. I loved that we got to see that side of Xaden because he knows that Violet does not have a wandering eye. He knows, but it still just comes out of him, you know? And we don't know if that's like a Venom thing or if that's like kind of how he was before. Like when Dane had kissed Violet, we know Xaden was like super jealous. You could see that from his POV chapters. So we know that he can be a jealous type. And I love that we got to see it. And also I called it. I knew Halden was going to be her ex. I called it. When they introduced Eric or Cam or Eric, whatever you want to call him, I knew that his brother was Violet's ex. I don't know how I knew. I just knew. Like I could see it coming. That's the thing with this book. There were so many things that I saw coming that a lot of people like predicted, I feel like, on TikTok, but I still
was shocked, even though I knew.
Like, I knew Halden was her ex, and I still was like, oh, you know what I mean? But I knew, but I still was shocked.
Does that make any sense?
With that being said, I felt like the romance in this book was an appropriate amount. I feel like in Fourth Wing, we didn't get a whole bunch of romance, which is fine because the first book was very like yearning, you know, which I love. Like I love the yearning aspect of it. Sometimes when the enemies become lovers too fast, I don't like it. It's like a
Turn off.
so I like that they took their time in Fourth Wing. Iron Flame, I don't know what it was other than the throne scene. Actually, no. I'm changing my mind. I thought the romance in Iron Flame was just as good because now that I'm thinking about the shower scene, that was really good too. And then the throne scene, like we can't, oh my gosh, we cannot forget about that. But I felt like this book had the perfect amount of romance. I felt like there were moments, there was tension. He had to control himself around her. So every time I thought that there was like gonna be,
Some juicy, spicy goods.
she just was like nip it in the butt. And it was just like,
Are you kidding me?
and that kind of brought me back to the first book where I was like, oh, are they gonna kiss? Are they gonna make out?
Are things gonna escalate?
Like, what's going on here? Look, I thought it was a perfect balance between fighting and action and dragons and romance. It was just like so flawlessly done. Chef's kiss. Thank you, Rebecca. I know it's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be sad. Like, can we just talk about how finally Kat is able to get over Xaden and like
I swear to God, within
in one chapter, not even one chapter, they
that was foul to do to my girl Cat, okay?
I also loved how much of a badass Violet was in this one. I feel like we kind of lost a little bit of her badassery in Iron Flame. I feel like because a lot of Iron Flame, a lot of Violet's like internal thoughts were mostly about Xaden. And it was a lot of like,
Should I forgive him? Should I not forgive him? Should I forgive him? Should I not forgive him?
which don't get me wrong, like I loved that. And I love that aspect, especially in like a romance novel. So don't get me wrong, I did enjoy that. But I felt like from the first novel to the second one, she kind of lost a little bit of her badassery and her roots, you know, like poisoning people. Like I missed that. I wanted to see some of that. And Rebecca, dear good God, she came prepared with that. I loved the scene where they were all at Xaden's mom's house on that island. I can't remember, that's one thing I will say. I can't remember all the names of the islands that they went to and all the different places. We definitely were like info overloaded, I feel like, with a lot of new places and people that I kind of just not remembering the names of these places. So when I do my reread, I'm definitely have to go through and make notes of everything and make like a cheat sheet so I can remember for the next book. Loved that they brought back Violet using poison as a weapon against her enemies. And especially since she had the foresight to do that going into that meeting that they had was like chef's kiss. And that to me just shows who Violet is at her core.
She's a badass, let's be real.
Also, one of my favorite parts about this entire book were the scenes that we got to see with Riddick and his dragon. Baby Riddick, he is my everything.
If Rebecca kills him, I will not continue the series.
Okay, I probably will, let's be real, but like that's besides the point. Please, Rebecca, do not kill Riddick, especially before we get a POV chapter of him. I thought it was super cool that we got to see POVs of Imogen and Rhiannon. Like I thought that was super, super different and not what I was expecting at all for POVs, because so far we've only gotten Violet's and Xaden's, and I was expecting some more Xaden POVs, but I was not expecting Rhiannon or even Imogen especially. And I think what really, really like set that apart for me within this book versus like the other book is getting to see their interactions with their dragons, because like we've seen and like what Violet has even said, her relationship with Taryn and Andarna is completely different than other people's, you know, relationships that they have with their dragons. And it's obviously not the norm. The way Taryn, you know, does things for Violet to help her, you know, like with the saddle and the lowering of his arm and whatnot, you can see that Taryn obviously deeply, you know, cares for Violet. And I do think that the other dragons care for their riders. But the way Rebecca writes, it makes it sound like all other dragons other than like Taryn are so relentless and just like really, really not like evil, but just really like stoic, cold-hearted, and I feel like we don't get to see any other bonds between other riders and dragons. So getting to see inside Imogen and Rhiannon's head and getting to see them talk to their dragons, I think was really cool, because you can kind of see the dynamic and how the dynamic is different between them versus Violet, Taryn, and Andarna.
Speaking of Andarna,
I genuinely did not see her snapping the bond between her and Violet. That part broke me. Okay, I was sobbing.
Full on sobs.
Were escaping my body. I knew the Irids were going to come back. I knew for sure. I just knew. I thought, okay, there's no way, like, if not this book, especially the next book, I knew for sure that they were going to come back. But I was not expecting the departure between Andarna and Violet and the bond to be so just like cut clean.
She's gone. She's out of there.
I thought for sure it was going to be something that they like talked about and discussed. And it's like, I almost wonder if the other dragon was the one to cancel the bond and Andarna wasn't. Because to me, it looked really like sudden. Like Andarna was like, I don't know how. And then it was just boom. So I feel like maybe the other dragon did something. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I did not like that. That hurt my heart. I love Andarna. She's precious to me. She's everything. And I think Andarna and the Irids are definitely more important than just, helping with the ward stones. I think that their dragons and their dragon kind are way more important, and we're going to get way more information about them in the next coming books. Now we need to talk about Violet's second signet. Can I just say we were all wrong?
Like, every TikTok was wrong.
There was not a single TikTok that I saw about her second signet. Her second signet is dream walking. I did not expect that. I would never have put that together. Rebecca said that we had all the information to have the knowledge of what Violet's second signet would be.
Where? Girl, Rebecca, where?
Did anyone else catch on to that? Because I did not catch on to that. I was
flabbergasted.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's cool. She did say, I remember her saying that it wasn't going to be as like crazy as lightning. Like her second signet was going to be more.
Oh my God.
Wait, pause. I think that it's going to be more than just dream walking. Like, I feel like she's going to be able to, go inside their minds, because we kind of saw that at the end where she was able to like wake Xaden up or like tell him like this isn't a dream, sort of ish, kind of, if I remember. But I think that they're going to elaborate on that and make it so that she can like kind of get inside their heads, which I think is super interesting, because if you think about it, Dane has recognition, right? He can like touch someone's head and get memories of the past, right? Arik has precognition. So he can see what's coming, like what's in the future. But I think Violet's dreamwalking is going to be kind of along those lines where it's like somewhere in between, like what's in the happening, what's in the now. I don't know.
You know what? I could be completely off. I suck
at theories and conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to this series. I'm like not deep. I'm not deep enough. I can't get deep enough to like put together ideas of what's going to happen. I leave it up to everybody else on TikTok, and I'm just like,
yeah, that's a great idea. I love that idea. That's great. Yeah.
You're so right. We were all wrong. And I think that's so funny. And I was cackling when they revealed her second signet, and I was just laughing so hard. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, I just know all these TikTok girls are so pissed right now.
Last but not least, I will say, I think the end of the book was a little confusing. I definitely had to go on Reddit and like TikTok to get other people's perspectives, because I was super confused with what was happening at the end. I will say though that it's giving Lightlark. Like if anyone here has read Lightlark, then at the end of Lightlark, it's revealed that her and Grimm were married and then her memories were taken away. It's giving that, which like
I'm all for it.
I'm interested to see like what exactly happened in those 13 hours or something that we're missing. And I'm sure that we're gonna get it in the next book, but I don't think it's gonna be right away. I think that it's gonna like take until almost the end of the next book for us to see and reveal what happened in those 13 hours where Violet cannot like remember anything. Kind of going along with everybody else's, my theory is that Xaden took a piece of his soul. When he was talking to Sigale, he says, "Will you forsake me now?" And Sigale says, "What is there left for you to forsake?" And then he says, "You tell me," and then he lets her in. My theory is that there's a little tiny piece of him that is still him. And by getting married to Violet, he's giving her that piece of him to hold and to like keep safe, essentially. You know what? It's
almost giving like Pirates of the Caribbean
when Will cuts out his heart and gives it to Elizabeth, like, and she's the one that holds on to his heart. I don't know why. That just kind of like made me think of that. But it's giving that, and I love that. That is so. I really hope that is like the main focus of the next book, because I think Xaden's gonna be able to come back because he was able to give up that small little part of him and give it to Violet. And because she loves him, she's
gonna obviously hold it near and dear to herself
and not let anything happen to it. Why her memories got erased, I don't know. I'm wondering if the pain of it all was just too much. Kind of like in Vampire Diaries, when Elena loses Damon and it's like too painful for her. So she's like, remove my memories. I feel like it's gonna be something like that, maybe. Like it's so painful that she feels like she can't deal with it, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or there's just more to it and we don't know.
I don't know.
And we have to wait, what, like 2 years? 2 years to find out? I simply can't, Rebecca. I simply cannot. Please. Please, I'm begging you with all that I have. Do not do this to us. But yeah, overall, that's pretty much a summary of my thoughts on the book. And I mean, I have a lot more theories and a lot more thoughts, but I feel like it would take me hours to go through and sit there and put all my thoughts together on everything. I have theories on, you know, the power, about how it's not actually coming from the ground, it's coming from the sky, or at least Violet's is coming from the sky. I think hers definitely comes from the sky because she was the only one that could talk to Taryn and Andarna on those islands. And since Andarna was the one that was not suffering, there's a line in here, guys. There's a line somewhere when they first are like separated where Taryn's like, she's in pain. Me and Sigil are in pain. But he says something about how Andarna is like unbothered. And that's because she's an Irid. And the other Irids obviously are there without magic from the ground. So I think the magic's in the sky. There's another line about Violet like wanting to pluck the magic from the sky, saying like, oh, the magic is so strong here. And Taryn's like,
There's no magic here.
but she says that there is magic. So my theory is kind of along those lines, that there's going to be a way to pull the magic from the sky, and that is also somehow going to heal Xaden. I don't know. We'll see. That's just my jumbled thoughts on it. But overall, guys, I really did love this book. It ripped my heart out into a million pieces, and I cannot believe that we're going to have to wait so long for the next one. If you haven't already read it, guys, please do. Please do. This book was perfect. This book was everything that we've been waiting for, in my opinion. Like I said, 6 out of 5 stars. It was perfection. Love it. Love it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, I hope everyone has wonderful days. Bye, guys.